vision popping, I'm the colorist on top. Film density so heavy, it's like I'm never gonna drop. Grading scenes with precision, making colors vivid through the darkest corners. My art, you must admit it, no ordinary gangster. I'm a colorist on the streets, I'm mixing hues and shades, making visuals complete. From the darkest shadows to the brightest sunlit sky, paint a masterpiece, that's what you can't deny. Ain't no match for my grading skills, I'm the champion. Like a visual illusion, I'll leave you in a trance, man. With magic on the screen, I create a sensation. The colors that I manifest, they cause a revelation. Step into my sweet jams where the magic happens. Balancing the tones, I control the captain's cabin. Highlights popping, mid-tones just right. Black so deep, they like the dead of night. I bend the gamma, curve the line, craft every shot to look so fine. Red 2020 wide gamut in play. Ace pipeline, set the visual array. Colors so real, they stretch beyond the norm. In Rec 709, I standardize the form. Log profiles give the latitude I need. Crafting colors like the visuals lead. Color wheel spinning, it's a visual feast. In the booth, I'm a beast. On the screen, a masterpiece. Contrast high, shadows deep. Got the look so sleek. Every frame, every scene, make the colors speak. Make the colors speak.
Hello. Welcome, everybody. Or, I mean, YouTube just kind of screwed me today. I think I know what happened, but yeah, so here we are. How is everybody? Welcome to another episode of Cult of Color. My name is Joe. I'll be your colorist for the evening. And tonight we're going to go into a deep dive into GyroFlow. That includes GyroFlow, the app, as well as the OFX plugin and Resolve. It should work roughly the same way in any other app you're going to use the OFX plugin for. I I don't see any viewers, so I might just be talking to myself here. So a little bit of news, right? This is going to be the last stream of the Cult of Color show on this channel. We're moving it over to the new Cult of Color channel. And if you haven't seen the little outro / intro videos yet, I'll play the intro video for the new channel here in a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of you guys know that I've been struggling with you know what, Bart? Let me be concerned about the algo, okay? You guys, the whole pile of you guys. Everyone's giving me advice on the algo. So yeah, I'm there. Okay. Yeah, you know, speaking of the algo, you know, Bart has a point. So, yeah, most of you guys know I've been struggling with the mysterious YouTube algorithm for ages now. I mean, even before I started taking YouTube more seriously and like putting actual work and effort into like cover images and search engine optimization and things of that nature, you know, I still had really low engagement from my content, and it was super weird. Like, I'm generally, my views on a video will peak out at like maybe 100 after a week. And then when YouTube pushed out that promote feature in the YouTube Studio, I tried that, threw some money at it. It went about how you think it would. I was expecting it to be more of a legitimate sponsor, like placing a sponsor, one of my posts in a sponsor, right? So like people are scrolling through their feed and they'll see one of my posts scroll by. What it ended up being was like a few thousand people, like 36,000 people from Indonesia, all subscribed at once. you know, tens of thousands of views on a video, zero engagement. I mean, I got views and likes, but no comments. So as much as I was hoping that going the legitimate route with advertising was going to help, it turns out it's just another scam. So I would highly recommend not doing that. You know what, YouTube, stop complaining about the bit rate, please. It's either too high or it's too low. Oh, yeah. Hey, look, we're back in HDR. I hope this looks okay. I did some tests earlier on another channel just to test my configuration. I don't know why YouTube shit the bed. But yeah, we started a little bit late. And so far, only Bart has figured it out. So the rest of you guys, come on. And let's go ahead and we'll get started with some videos. We only got a few today. Got one, first one from Rob, got a couple from me, and then I brought in Shag AFPV, so we'll have to pay his channel a little visit here in a bit. Smart Bart. I love it, dude. Bart Smart? Smart Bart is Bart Smart. I'm going to give myself an aneurysm if I say that too many times. All right. So let's check out Rob's video. 4K sights and sounds from Corfu Town, September 2024. I imagine this is going to be a pretty good one. Hopefully that looks pretty good. Let me know if it's blown out to death. It's very saturated on my screen. Is it doing that oversaturation thing? No, it's not burning the colors. Those colors are good. Hey, we got 3 viewers. Yeah, no worries, Bart. I mean, I haven't flown a drone since I got back from my trip, dude. I've been working on my music. I just fixed my car today. I haven't driven it in a year. I just got up and went outside and fixed my car. Make sure the colors aren't screwed up here. No, they're not screwed up. And, I mean, Bart, you don't owe me anything. Okay, the colors are definitely screwed up. There we go. That's better. Sorry, Rob. We're going to start that over because I don't want to do you a disservice with YouTube's horseshit. Hey, big oily guy. How you doing, large petroleum fella? Good to see you. Yeah, Rob, YouTube's got a bug on HDR monitors, man. It just pops up and gets super duper saturated. It's like HDR twice when I'm playing an SDR video on YouTube on an HDR monitor. So sorry about that. Went ahead and restarted it, man. Oily, it's good to see you, man. Rob, thanks for staying up to catch at least the beginning. I always look forward to seeing your videos. I like the ambiance. You got really good audio on this too. It's very immersive. What'd you shoot this with? These quads are pretty. Okay. ZV-E1 and Mini 3 Pro. It's a beautiful place, dude. I'm gonna have to visit someday. Very much more beautiful than where I live. So if I do come and visit, I'll be sure to hit you up. You can show me around town. Let's see here. Make sure he gets a like. And we got the intro video for the new channel. So those who haven't caught up yet, we got a new channel called Cult of Color. You see the ticker up at the top there. it goes by every so often. This show this is the last show on the Nomad Aerial channel. So kind of an explanation of what the new channel is right here. Welcome to the Cult of Color, my new YouTube channel. If you came over from Nomad Aerial, then you probably already know what to expect. But if you're new here, here's what we can expect in the coming days, weeks, months, years. That is awfully quiet. So yes, Cult of Color is going to be the home of all things color grading and color grading adjacent. What does that mean actually? Well, that means like obviously color grading tutorials, right? Little tidbits here and there, plus some longer form tutorials on some more complex subjects. Also, you guys know the game.
Personal, professional reels and videos and such. More like the stuff I do on my trips, right? Not so much the hood rips that you used to see on the Nomad Aerial channel. No AI stuff, no off topic. It's going to be strictly down the barrel.
Yeah, thanks, Bart.
And color grading adjacent. Another aspect of that is going
I wanted to have a lot in there, but not have it be long.
Trying
to be more dynamic with my editing.
Or color grading enthusiast. What does that mean, though? It doesn't mean I'm going to be shilling people's products. It means 99% of the time I'm going to buy the product myself. I'm going to review it, and if I really hate it and somebody else likes it, I might give it away. If I like it, I might still give it away. I don't know. I haven't really thought that far ahead. I've been in the habit of buying new stuff just to review it and then not using it again. We'll see if we can get figured out with that. What else do we got going on? Yeah, so if you can look down in the doobly-doo, we still got the same old Discord link if you want to join the cult and join the discussion with other like-minded individuals like yourselves, budding colorists, color grading enthusiasts, and people who just want their video to look a little step ahead of what everyone else has got on the internet. And then, you know, if you want to toss some coin my way, which is never required, there's a Patreon link.
Well, it's the same Patreon that we've always had, so if you're already a contributor, don't do it
Very
again.
much appreciated. Never required. I don't put anything behind a paywall. Nobody's going to be special around here. Not even me. So, if you came over from the Nomad
I know Koala
channel,
wants to be special. He called me Poppy Nomad, which I thought was hilarious.
If you're new here,
I had to tell my wife about that.
It doesn't matter what your doesn't matter. Your skill level does not matter in Cult of Color. You can just be a dude or a gal with a cell phone from 2007. And we'll work with you, right? Everything that I teach applies to every camera. If you are a Hollywood colorist, you are in the wrong place. You're not going to learn anything from me, except maybe how to do it wrong. Anyway, guys, yeah, welcome to the cult. Glad to have you here. Let's do some cool stuff with cool people. Okay, bye.
So hopefully everyone's up to speed. Anybody who catches the replay of this will be aware. Yeah, so the channel, Cult of Color. Go subscribe if you haven't subscribed. This show will be moving there starting next week. So you don't want to miss out on future shows. I'm waiting for the guy who specifically asked about GyroFlow to join up. And if you want to have a little laugh at my expense, I have this blooper reel here from the various filmings.
We focus on my face or what? Alright, here we go. Let's see here. What am I going to say? What am I going to say? Fuck me. Let's try this again. Take 2. Hopefully my mic doesn't die. Hopefully there's not too much wind noise. Okay. Check, check, 1, 2. Here we go. Did it fucking focus on me? Or what? Man, I don't know. Fucking take 2, I guess, huh? Am I in focus? I can't even fucking tell if I'm in focus. I mean, I don't see the shit. And then I come back in here. Am I in focus now? Okay, good enough.
Is the stream skipping
Hello
for
there.
people?
Welcome to Cult of Color. Let's try that again. That was shit.
Let me know.
Okay, and we're gonna start from the beginning again, so I'll walk out of frame.
Wheels in the air.
Okay. Hey there. Welcome to Cult of Color.
Welcome to the stream.
You forgot about the thing. Back up. Try it again.
Yeah, YouTube's complaining
Hey
that I'm
guys,
sending
how
it
you
too
doing?
much
I'm Joe.
data.
Welcome to the Cult of Color, my new YouTube channel.
And skip
here
it
on
again.
YouTube, because that fucking makes all the sense in the world. Asshole. Hey there, I'm Joe. Welcome to Cult of Color, my
Holy.
new channel on YouTube. Here are some of the things
Yeah,
that you
it's skipping
can-
again.
Ah, fucking son of a bitch. Try it again. Hi there, I'm Joe. Welcome to Cult of Color, my new channel here on YouTube. I'm not gonna
is
do ad
so
reads, put it that
annoying.
way. No Squarespace, no NordVPN, fucking cut that out. No ad reads whatsoever.
Hold on 1 second, guys. I'm going to try a thing here. Just stay with me. Don't go in. Okay. Should be back. Bart, I used a Canon R5. The reason why I was having focus issues here is I accidentally turned off the face and eye tracking autofocus. So I was really struggling to keep it focused. So that's completely user error. It's actually quite good autofocus. I just suck as a camera operator.
What else? So yeah, thank you for coming. Fuck, no. So yeah, thank you for joining me over here on Cult of Color, and let's do some awesome stuff. See you later. Yeah, son of a bitch.
Oh, you could tell it wasn't a GoPro?
Record now. I'm focused. Am I focused?
How about now?
Oh man, let's see. Let's get some bullshit set up here. So, and if you're new here, welcome to the cult. Refreshments will be served at 6. Everybody needs to shave their head and grow a beard. So if you didn't get that memo, that's what's happening. I'm gonna cut that the whole fucking way out. Let's do it over again. Let's do the whole fucking thing over again, okay? Ugh, fucking shit! All right, here we go. Get the shine off my head. Okay, bye.
So, obviously I swear a lot, right? I use the F-bomb like a syllable, like punctuation. Sometimes it's just the sound I make when I breathe. So, but one of the things that I'm going to try to do for the new channel is when I do talking head stuff, I'm going to try not to swear. And when I'm doing this stream on the other channel, I'm going to try not to swear. So you might have noticed I've toned it down already. Trying to get used to it. Trying to pretend like I'm at work because I'm so senior at work that I can swear all I want anyway, unless it's like in front of the board. But, not necessarily senior, but just established. Like there's a rapport with everybody I deal with on a daily basis. So yeah, that's another aspect that I'm gonna work on. So I gotta get all my fucks and shits out on this stream before next week because I gotta go clean. So hey, look, we'll give it a little like there, and then like stuff like bloopers and stuff like that are gonna stay on the Nomad Aerial channel, since that's kind of a throwaway channel anyway. Especially when you do talking head videos, I have a lot of bloopers, and I think they're funny because I have very odd responses. I don't know if you guys saw. I did a blooper reel I was trying to do a TikTok tutorial on GyroFlow, no less. It was a long time ago, a couple years ago, I think. And the outtake reel from that was pretty funny. Maybe I'll pull it up here in a bit because we don't have too many videos. Shaggy FPV, 6 minutes of mountain surfing in Norway. So this probably not boring. Let's give this a look here. Oh, so kind of a funny thing, now that I'm trying to make myself more marketable by not swearing so much, I actually got sent a product for the first time. It's a little box to charge GoPro batteries on the go, so it has an integrated battery and then two slots for GoPro batteries. So I might do a review of that little guy. It seems better than I thought it was going to be, so there might be a little bit of a review. I'm not under any obligation to do anything with it though. It just showed up today. I had no idea what it was, so I wasn't expecting a package or anything. So this is beautiful. It's a lot of water. Wow. Man, I want to go to Norway. Look at that motion blur. That is sick. And that person riding their bicycle backwards, that's awesome. I'm not a big fan of the speed ramps. I noticed a lot of pilots do that to make it. I mean, obviously you got to cover a long distance, right? But I've seen this is a little bit better than what I'm thinking. Like, I think a lot of people do like ridge runs or something like that and speed it up because they're only going 35 miles an hour with whatever drone they have. And I tend not to do that. I tend to fly very fast drones, so I don't necessarily have to speed it up. Dude, he's getting so high right now. That dive must have been ridiculous. I kind of want to see this forwards. Holy shit! I'm curious to see where he is too. That's right. That's weird to think about where he might be because he occluded that valley a lot on his way up. We'll have to look in the description and see what he's flying. You like to ride backwards too, Bart? I heard that about you. Dude, look at that valley. Almost looks like a split grade. Feel like he separated. Holy shit. See, the speed ramp. Not my favorite thing. But it definitely looks like he separated the sky from the ground. Hell of a pilot, no doubt. These waterfalls. It's nice. He's got some wind shakiness there. I know all about that. I think if it were me, I'd probably back off on the stabilization a bit. Because then it makes those types of vibrations less noticeable. Wow, look at that glacier. Where the fuck is he? He's got to be up on one of the peaks somewhere. Down in a crevasse? He's definitely not at the bottom of the valley unless he's got, like, I don't know, man, Starlink? Yo, fucking Shaggy, do you see this shit? You gotta come back in the comments and let us know on all of these different shots. Where the fuck were you, dude? Because even if you were up high, going down in that crevasse was dodgy as shit, bro. Very, very impressive. Very impressive. Oh! Oh, okay. There he goes. Nice. That sounds like that looks like a lot of work to get up that high. That's a lot of work, man. I don't know if I have the intestinal fortitude needed to get up to that height unless somebody dropped me off of the helicopter. That's incredible. I mean, just hiking up there to me is impressive, and the flight alone, and the views are incredible. I'm so going to Norway. Yeah, I'm so going to Norway. I think I could do well in Norway. Very good, Shaggy. Very, very, very good. Oh man, don't tease me with another cinematic. Very good, dude. Greetings from the cult of color live stream. Beautiful video. Wicked flight. Amazing location. Comment. Okay, so that's all the videos I got. Let me actually see something here. If I can dig into my bag of tricks here. There we go. So thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate you joining me here on TikTok. Stay tuned for the next turbo tutorial, which is going to be about using GyroFlow on GoPro data. Thanks you. Turbo tutorial on how to use GoFlow. Fuck. Shit. Fuck. Thanks for fuck. Teach you guys how to use GyroFlow with fucking balls, man.
Are you fucking kidding me right now?
Stay tuned for my next turbo tutorial where we'll talk about GyroFlow. Fucking, why can I not fucking say it right? Shit. Thanks for watching, guys. Fuck. Bloopers are going to be awesome. Stay tuned for my next turbo tutorial on... Fuck. God damn it. I want to say GoPro instead of GyroFlow so bad. It sucks so fucking bad. I don't want to be here anymore. Last take. Last motherfucking take. All right, here we go. Thanks for watching, guys. And stay tuned for my next turbo tutorial and... Fuck! Here we go again! Oh, God, I was so close to the last time. Turbo tutorial where we'll go over GyroFlow and how to use it with our GoPro footage. Thanks for watching. Take care, guys. What the fuck was that? God damn. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for my next turbo tutorial where we'll go over GyroFlow and how to use it with our GoPro footage. Fuck. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for an... Okay. Fucking hell. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for my next turbo tutorial where we'll go over GyroFlow and how to use it with our GoPro footage. Koala. Welcome in, brother. Good to see you.
Totally forgot what I was supposed to say at the end there. Fuck.
This is going to take all night. All night. I hate my life. Okay. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for my next turbo tutorial where we'll go over GyroFlow and how to use it with our GoPro footage. See you next time. All right. We're done. Clear. Motherfucking clear. Anyway, yeah, so I like doing blooper reels whenever I have to do a talking head video. Because I fuck up a lot. So, yes. Okay. GyroFlow. Let's talk GyroFlow. So I think everybody here knows what GyroFlow is, at least has a cursory kind of awareness of it, right? It's an almost universal stabilization tool that utilizes gyroscope data that's embedded in videos. GoPro is probably the prime example. Insta360 also does it. DJI Action, all the actions do it as well. Sony cameras, I think almost all of them. Well, you know what? I can't speak to that accurately. I thought I saw somebody using a Sony Alpha, but he had a witness camera on it to get gyro. I don't know what the fuck he was doing. Blackmagic cameras all have gyros. I know Sony high-end Sony cinema cameras have gyros. Reds have gyros now. It's basically becoming a standard thing, and GyroFlow is the tool to use it with. So GyroFlow is an open source tool. I believe it was originally written in Python, and now it's written in Rust. And you can get it a number of places in a number of ways. Like if I pull up the store here. So you can get the GyroFlow app off the Microsoft Store. It's not going to be the latest, greatest version. Excuse me. I'm not even sure, because I got the video there for 1.0. I'm not even sure what version it is. You can go to gyroflow.xyz or the GitHub page. If I go back here, you can see the GitHub page, and then you can go to releases, and you'll see 1.5.4 is the latest release. Now it's a set point release, so that's what's been validated and tested and polished, and the last major release was November 1st, 2023. So that was kind of a while ago. But if you go back and you look at the commits, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with GitHub or not, but you can see like September 7th was the last time somebody committed a change. They added a Hero 13 profile. It's Adrian Eddy, the creator. So yeah, he's very busy on this. Very consistent as well. So what I like to do to stay up to date is I go to gyroflow.xyz/dev build. So this dev build, what this is once you hit this button or any of these buttons on the back end, GitHub's going to compile with the latest commit and then give you a zip file with everything you need for it. So we're going to pretend like I have to update my shit. Okay. So I'll download the dev build, and then I'll download the OpenFX plugin. And another thing, if you're going to use the OFX plugin, they have to be the same version. So make sure if you update one, you update the other. Well, I can't speak if they have to be the same version, but it's probably good practice to make sure they're the same version. So, I'll go into my downloads and fucking pop these guys out here. And then we've got another zip inside of here. We'll just extract this here. And from right here, I could, well, this is actually that's the plugin. So we'll talk about that in a second. GyroFlow Windows, extract this. Hey, Tobias, what's up, dog? Good to see you. All right, now that I've extracted the zip, I could run it right here. It'll run just fine right where it is. It doesn't actually need to be quote unquote installed. So you can create a folder on your C drive or wherever you want to keep this, and just copy this, except for the zip, everything but the zip into that file. So here on my big data drive, I have apps GyroFlow, and this is where I keep my GyroFlow. And then the OFX plugin, you take that bundle right there. So for DaVinci Resolve, you go to C, program data, program files, common data, OFX, plugins, and putting it in here will actually, this is the brilliance of OpenFX. Any app that supports OpenFX will see it immediately. So it's not an exclusive to Resolve thing. So I think Final Cut, it works in Final Cut, works in, I don't know if it works in Premiere. I know Adobe has their own plugin format. So, and I think there was at one point an AEX plugin, but I don't know if that's the thing anymore. So you can just paste it in there and overwrite the destination, and you're good to go. So now that I have GyroFlow installed, let's have a see look at the interface. So I'm going to pop open GyroFlow. This might be a little bit hard for folks to see. We got a lot going on here, but actually it's not that much. I think the primary use of GyroFlow for us is going to be action camera stabilization. So I will let me grab a good video here, a flight video, Goddamn, I drove around a lot. This is from last year. A flight video. Can I have a flight video? What the hell? Is this just all driving? That's what I get for not naming these appropriately. Bear with me, guys. I'm gonna get my shit together. You know what? Here's a great example. Not a flight video, but this is handheld GoPro. So once you load a video in there, you can see, so you can use the open video and select it that way. You can just drop a video on top of it. You can see, obviously, file name. You can see the detected camera. So this is a Hero 10 Black using the wide lens, and it's 5.1K. Looks like 4:3 aspect ratio. It should have automatically. Oh, you know what? There is no Hero 10 4:3, is there? Yeah, there is. I don't know why it didn't auto detect. Most of the time, it will auto detect the camera and load the lens profiles. If you noticed, all I did was search for the lens profile. There's hundreds of them, right? So, bunch for Blackmagic Cinema cameras. Let's see what Sony cameras we got. We got a bunch of Sony cameras. Red V Raptor. Who else makes cameras? Canon. EOS M. Freefly Wave, which is a super slow-mo camera. Pretty cool. Zcam as well. And what these lens profiles have are calibration information about the distortion of the lens, and it basically gives it an idea of how much actual perceived motion is there versus what the actual gyroscope inside the device is going to say. So we need to actually use the right one here. Pure black 4:3 wide. Now, if I see if I can turn the stabilization off. Here's what it looked like originally. Right, I'm just holding the GoPro itself. Turn the audio off. Just holding the GoPro itself. Now I have a very fast shutter speed, so I can get away with, holding it by hand. Nomad, you'll be happy to learn I upgraded from my Runcam Orange to a Session 5 today. Well, yeah, that's an upgrade. Session 5 is a bit old. But yeah, how much does a Session 5 weigh? Does anybody know off the top of their head? The new GoPro Hero, which is kind of a cut down Hero 13, is only 85 grams or something like that with battery. Anyway, so the whole point of GyroFlow uses the gyro data that's encoded in the file. Now I can show you how this looks if I bust open media info. This might be a little bit hard to see. So you'll see the general container information here. And then there's video tracks. There's one video track, and this is the actual video that we see. 5120 by 3840, 4:3, constant frame rate, yada, yada, yada. And there's an audio track. And then there's this other track and another track. Okay, so there is a time code track that GoPro uses. And see the title, GoPro TCD. It isn't used all that much up until the 13. So the GoPro Hero 13, you can synchronize time code on multiple GoPros, which is super helpful for multicam editing. And then the other number 2 track is the GPS metadata. So it has, it's a GoPro metadata. It has gyro data, accelerometer data, GPS data. If the device has a GPS and is turned on, it has data about all kinds of weird, like atmospheric pressure, temperature, There's a whole bunch of other data that any one program doesn't use all of it. That's another thing I'm excited about the Hero 13, bringing back the GPS. I can do my data overlays again with GPS data. So super excited about that. But yeah, so most of these cameras that support gyro stabilization will embed the gyro data into the video file in one way or another. Blackmagic RAW, it's embedded directly into the RAW codec. I can't illustrate that for you because I don't have anything that can take RAW apart. So, and then other cameras will have a sidecar file that's written to the storage media alongside the video. So it's not necessarily directly in there, but it'll be synced up. But you can see it's pretty shaky. Now, if I turn the stabilization on, it's going to do two things. It's going to correct the aspect ratio. It's going to stretch it out to 4:3 and remove the lens distortion. So now it's linear as opposed to being fisheye. So a good example of this would be when I turn around on my stupid face here. Okay, it's kind of fisheye. And then if I hit this, I get stretched because I'm in the corner. To kind of illustrate this a little bit more, we'll use the toggle stabilization overview, and it's going to zoom it out. Yeah, Bart, I'm hoping it's going to be better than the bones. It looks like it is a little bit more robust. It does have a screen, which is a plus and a negative, depending upon who you ask. It's just another thing that can break, but it also makes controlling it a little bit easier than the Hero 11 Mini. And I think the bones didn't have a screen either. Anyway, yeah, so if I turn on stabilization, you'll see it stretches the image out in the corners to get a linear distortion in the image. And then if I adjust the lens correction over here, that will change that distortion effect. So you can stabilize with the spherical distortion that you get off the GoPro, and that's fine. If you're like me, you like rectilinear, that's also fine, or anywhere in between. So you can adjust it. If you don't like the hyper distortion of going from fisheye to rectilinear, you can go in between, right? There's no rule. It's anywhere you want it to be. That's correct. Yeah, it's just called the GoPro Hero. I have a Hero 13 and all of the accessories on the way. It should have shipped yesterday, but I haven't gotten a shipping notification, so I'm hoping there's not like an issue with GoPro getting their shit out. We'll see. I don't know when the actual like public launch date is. We don't know. Holy fucking shit. So you have a couple of other options here on the right side. There are stabilization methods. The default is usually good enough for most applications. And then the smoothness is a percentage between obviously like 0.1 and 100%. It used to be a time window. So it would be a window of time in which the gyroscopic movements would be smoothed in the video. And the shorter the window of the time, the less stabilization you had. But now it's a little bit more user intuitive, to kind of tune it based on just percentage. Plain 3D is a bit more aggressive. That one uses the time window, and it's an integrated function of the gyro data to try to correct for perspective distortion as well. It's hard to illustrate that just talking about it. But yeah, for most people, default's fine. If you have a camera on a tripod and there's a vibration, you can use fixed camera, which means it will just lock it in place. But after stabilization, this gets really smooth. You can barely tell that it was handheld. And that's with 10% stabilization. But I crank that up, it's going to look silky. But you can then start to see some of that distortion because I've got it cranked up way too high. So my go-to is usually 10 to 15% for flights, depending upon what I'm doing. The larger quads don't need as much stabilization because they don't move around as much. Yeah, Bart, I'm gonna start shooting in 30 frames per second. We'll see. I don't know, man. I did my little well, it's funny, the intro and outro videos, I had 24 FPS content in there alongside 30 FPS content, so I used a 60 FPS timeline and exported in 60 frames per second. That way 24 looked perfect and 30 frames per second looked perfect. Tell your mom. So then another aspect is the dynamic zooming. So usually what it has to do when it has to move the frame around, it has to zoom in a little bit so you don't get the black bars touching the edge of the frame. And basically the zoom has to give enough room so that it can move the image around to counter my movements. The more violent my movements are, the more it's going to have to zoom in. So this can be illustrated with, if I turn the smoothness up, it has to zoom in even more to achieve that. And then there's a dynamic zoom, which is default. And now there's a setting in the latest version of GyroFlow where you can limit how much it zooms in, which can cause some hard bumps in the stabilization if it's too violent, but it'll cause some distortion. I think by default it's 130%. For flights, I will take it down to 110%. Just keep as much of my field of view as possible. And it is fairly possible to still get stabilized footage without allowing it to zoom in much. What you're going to get is some distortion. You'll kind of see things warp a little bit. So with handheld, it's going to look a little weird. With flight footage, it's relatively low motion. Yeah, thanks. Appreciate that, Bart. You know, flights have relatively low frequency motion, so you don't really need to worry that much about it. And you can just keep that as low as it'll go. And then zooming speed is how long it takes to zoom in and out. So if I turn this down to 10 milliseconds, 100 milliseconds, it's going to be bouncing around all over the place. So I take the smoothness down. Right, it's in and out all the time. If we look at this, you can see it kind of freaking out. Now, if I take the zooming speed and I increase it, it takes longer to zoom in and out. So if I set this camera down, I saw your first comment. It's fine. If I set the camera down, it'll eventually zoom out, right? So from it, in this case, like I've got it set to 6.7. It takes 6.7 seconds for it to zoom all the way out. I typically keep it around 1.0 for flights. By default is 4. And that's how that works. And then there's the export settings. Depending upon your computer and what your intended use is. If you're going to use the OFX plugin, you don't need to export out of GyroFlow. You just need to save a project file. Thanks, Bart. Yeah, I was during one of my homeless phases. ProRes, DNxHE, Cineform, EXR sequence, if you're going to do visual effects or something like that, ping sequence. Because like there are, like a GoPro is not really worthy of doing an EXR sequence, like 32-bit float EXR with linear color. That is overkill for the video that comes out of a GoPro. Out of like a Raptor, that's probably where you need to be if you're going to do visual effects. You need as much color data as possible, way more than you need for color grading. So yeah, if you're doing a high-end trying to be as lossless as possible. ProRes, DNx HD are probably where you want to be. If you have to export it, I like to not export, so I don't do that. And then what I'll end up doing is, we'll go into the advanced menu in a second, is I'll hit that little down arrow by export, and then export projects file, including gyro data. And that's important that you include the gyro data in your export. Otherwise, it's going to have to load the gyro data from the original file every time it appears on your timeline. So as you're scrubbing through and your playhead goes over that file, it's just going to lock up until it pulls all the gyro data. For GoPro files, not the worst thing in the world. For files that, for formats where loading the gyro data can take a long time, like DJI, it can be a showstopper. It can end up crashing your editing software. So including the gyro data in the project file means that it's always available for the plugin to use. It doesn't have to pull it from the original file. Stop bitching at me about my bitrate. Has the stream been smooth since I made that change? Let me know in the chat there. Yeah, so let's talk about what if I have a camera that doesn't have a gyro and I want to gyro stabilize the footage. There's two ways you can do it. Let me go back here to on earlier some adventure. What is this shit? So a bunch of Blackmagic raw files. I'm just going to pick one. I know there's no gyro data in these files because they're too old. So we'll drop that on there. Yep, so it's going to give you a little warning here. File format detected, but no motion data was found. This camera probably doesn't blah, 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 right? It's an old Blackmagic prior to them actually embedding the gyro data inside the camera. The problem is, fuck. Well, Blackmagic is really a bad example because it doesn't actually, in most cases, it doesn't actually put any lens information in the file. Detected lens 64 millimeter. I don't have a 64 millimeter. I don't know what it's talking about. Might have been a 35 millimeter. There might be a lens profile for it. No, that's not it. Is it? That's actually not bad. So if I didn't have, like when I got my 6 millimeter for my Micro Studio camera, there was no profile for the 6 millimeter and I had to make my own. Well, in order to make your own, you hit create new and it pops up a new window. And there is a open calibration target. So when I hit this open calibration target, it's going to open up this chessboard type looking thing on your screen, and you're going to take video of it from different angles and try to like just, you know, move your camera off to the side, up high, down low, twist it, you know, a harsh angle. You just want to make sure you're encompassing the entire, you know, range of the lens. It does not work with zoom lenses. Please don't try it with a zoom lens. You'll be disappointed. No motion blur and high frame rate are better. But if you're going to use like 30 frames per second, make sure you have very fast shutter. You want low noise if you can help it. So if your monitor's, I mean, you can see my face right now. I'm pretty much getting a tan from my monitor. It's very, very bright. Yeah. This would be where you start. You record this, you take a video, let me hit escape. Anything? You bastard. Where'd it go? Okay, there's a little X up here. I couldn't see it because I'm so fucking blind. You would take that video and then you would drop your video file here. And I wonder if I still have it. Hold up. Should I put it in here? I got no idea which. I was wondering if I still had my calibration file from my 6mm. That is gonna be a hard no, dog. I thought I was gonna still have it. No, don't have it. Okay, sorry. Carry on. So I would take that file, drop it on here, hit auto calibrate, and it's going to go through and analyze the frames and determine a distortion model for the lens. Now, frame rate doesn't necessarily matter in most cases. The metadata is created on a per frame basis in some cases. GoPros and things like that, it doesn't matter. It can just be one distortion model. Certain cameras, however, will have a known shutter readout time. So how long it takes to read from one side of the shutter to the other in an exposure. On a Blackmagic 4K sensor, it's 16.22 milliseconds. So if I had that, I would add that here. I'd add my readout time, 16.22. And if it was inverted, if it read bottom to top, I would just click that, save all of that stuff, and then hit export lens model, and it would shit out a file. Now, it does say you can upload it to the profile of the database, which is where this is sourced. Unfortunately, I haven't seen my own 6mm in there yet. You can add things like, different lenses, like digital lenses or whatnot, and different tuning on how to process the calibration video that you took. Usually not necessary. So once you got your profile done, you can pop that in there. So I actually lost my profile for my 6mm, and I have to create another one. I do have it embedded in a bunch of project files though, which is another nice thing. Remember when I said export a project file with with gyro data? Well, it also includes the lens data as well. So it looks like here we've got decently calibrated lens. So I have no gyro data, but GyroFlow will use optical flow to sort of create a motion model. Once it has a distortion model here, it will use optical flow. It'll do its best. So all I'm going to do is hit auto sync here, and it's going to go through and analyze the motion using optical flow. So it kind of fakes gyro motion, right? So not the greatest in the world. Like, it's trying to stabilize it, but it's not working. And that's probably because of the lens calibration. The other option is if you have a camera, like a larger, older camera that you want to gyro stabilize. I mean, you can do it with VHS, okay? Is pop a GoPro anywhere on it. It doesn't have to be centered. It doesn't have to be at a certain angle. It just has to be on it somewhere. So what I used to do before Blackmagic did his thing is that on my whole camera rig, I would just put a GoPro on there. And that's what's called a witness camera. Classically, a witness camera was used for visual effects because it gives you a wider field of view and can be great use for tracking. Now, with all the gyro information that we get from them, it's even better for VFX because you get gyro tracking from all of your cameras. But you can also take that gyro data out of a GoPro file and use it with a different file. So if we go back to motion data here, you can open a separate file. It can even be another video file that has motion data, or an actual exported GPX file. So the motion data, so there's like obviously video files, Betaflight, black box log, MXF, which would be DNxHR, Insta360 files, GoPro, another 360, log, bin, bra, red, GPMF, which is the raw file for a GoPro metadata format. Yeah, so there's all kinds of different formats you can have gyro data in, and it can apply that gyro data on a frame-by-frame basis onto your footage. That may or may not be a pleasant experience. Fun little trick I used to do with, I don't know if I can do it here, with goggle data, a goggle DVR from a flight, is if I had the video recorded with the O3 air unit, like on an SD card, I would take that video, use that video as the calibrator, because if you just take a goggle, let me see if I can do it, because it's kind of neat. Fuck, I don't have the accompanying goggle footage. Anyway, so you can take the goggle footage. DJI stuff is different. Yeah, DJI stuff is different because DJI is very protective. So they've created their own profiles, which are embedded. They're not the normal lens profiles, so you can't edit them or view them or anything like that. And they're auto-detected by GyroFlow. But you can't just like select the lens profile for an O3 air unit. It has to be a video file from the O3 air unit in order for that profile to come up. That being said, once you have that up and it loads the gyro data, then you can change out your video to the goggle DVR, and the gyro data from the flight video will stabilize the goggle DVR. And it's funny because the UI will wiggle around all over the place. So it's kind of a neat effect, and it also undistorts it. So the UI has like this bent curve to it, which is, it's pretty cool. Yeah, a little bit goofy, a little bit weird. So let's see. Any questions while we're in the UI? I know I went kind of fast. There's a lot of material I'm trying to get through. Obviously there's some rewatchability here, but let's take some questions if you got them in the chat. Well, I got 4 people. I am out of drinky drink. You know what we're gonna do? Do a tiny little bit of tints here. Tiny little tints, so it's just not dead silence. There we go. A little bit of tints. Yep. Okay. So let's go through the whole process. Actually, no, I don't want to exit. Yeah, I'm gonna exit. I'm gonna start fresh. Let me go in and come in here, and we'll grab this one. So 1153. I'm going to delete that GyroFlow project file. So just like I took this right off the camera, I'm going to open up GyroFlow, drag it on here. It's going to take a little bit of time to open the gyro data. That's largely because the file's huge and it's over the network. So I mean, it is quick enough. It does get faster, but it's a kind of a long file. Oh no, I can't do that. That's a shame. I might be able to fake it. Shouldn't have deleted that file, as I don't have my lens calibration. Never mind, we'll do it with a GoPro file. Fucking stupid ass. Alright, so we got a GoPro file. Here's one you guys haven't even seen yet. So it's detected as a Hero 12 wide 2K or fucking what is that? 3840 by 3360. It must be 4:3 because I was shooting 60 frames per second. 4K? You know, I don't know. I know I was shooting 60 frames per second. So it loaded the lens profile for a Hero 11 Black because they're the same sensor with the same lens, and the 13 will likely be the same as well. And then already loaded the motion data from the GoPro Hero as well. You can see it's not scaled down here, but you kind of get an idea what we're working with. That's fucking loud, isn't it? Put that zoom limit down. So it's a little freestyle flight with the Y6. And instead of encoding this to another file, I'm going to set the things that I want to set here. Make sure everything's good to go. And then I am going to export project file including gyro data. And it's generally going to export it next to the source file. So in this case, it's going to be right next to GX010005, you know, .mp4. Only takes a couple of seconds. Gives you a little feedback here of where it's been saved to. And I'm done with GyroFlow at this point. So now here comes the moment you've all been waiting for. Resolve. And I'll go through this in a couple of ways. I'll do the normal editing timeline way and then the Fusion way. Now, if you save the gyro data in the file, you can actually make adjustments after the fact, which is kind of neat. So I'll drag that same file in here. Yeah, we're going to change the frame rate. And I got to go change it from HDR to SDR. Turn off Dolby Vision, HDR 10. Go to my timeline. Let's just do a quick little edit here. Right there. It's just right there. I know I landed again for some reason. I can't remember what it was. I think it was GPS. I don't remember why I re-landed again. Anyway, but we'll take this little clip here. And then my effects, or in OpenFX, now with this latest version, GyroFlow has its own folder. And for whatever reason, it's called GyroFlow Old. I'm not sure if they're going to be making kind of a change. But you remember how we installed the GyroFlow plugin just by copying it to that folder? There's one other thing that we need to do to make this work smooth. We need to go to the DaVinci Resolve menu, Preferences, and then under General, there's this external scripting using. By default, it's set to none. We need to set it to local. Otherwise, the plugin doesn't work quite right. So make sure you do that before you start using the plugin. So I'm just going to take the plugin, drag it onto the footage, and it's not going to do anything at first because I need to load a project file. Here's where that scripting thing needs to work. This load for current file is where that is how it executes that script. So if I hit that, it's going to load the file that I just created in GyroFlow, the project file. Now from here, I can make other adjustments. I can increase the smoothness. I can change the things that I already set in the GyroFlow project. That doesn't mean you can just use the plugin against your footage without a project file. You need to have the project file in order for it to get the lens calibration as well as the gyro data. You can even change the lens calibration preset that you're using. You can open this project in GyroFlow, edit it, and save it again. So if you wanted to change the aspect ratio, for instance, and I'll probably show you how to do that here in a little bit, then you would just save it, come back, hit reload project, and Bob's your uncle. So now that we have that loaded, we have stabilized video, and it's fast. There's not a whole lot of overhead to it. I'm sure that is making all kinds of racket. Nice and smooth, nice and silky smooth. Right, and then, you know, you just treat it like any other piece of footage. You can do speed ramps on it. The thing of it is you notice how I took a cut of it, right? So that time code that's in the file, GyroFlow is using to align the gyro data to the frames. And so long as I'm working on the original file, right, that has the same original frames in it, it's fine. If I were to take a snippet, re-encode it, and bring it over here, even though I have all the gyro data, the frame numbering will be off and it won't work. Same thing happens in Fusion if you pass it through another plugin that strips off that frame number or shifts the frame number. GyroFlow won't work. You have to use the original source file so that when you have like this section here, you're starting at the appropriate time code so that the gyro data lines up. So, you know, I'm over here, I can let it up if I really want to. Throw that that horse shit on there. It's not quite running at a full 60 frames per second, probably because I'm streaming. And fucking YouTube's getting pissed off at me about the bitrate again. You kind of get the idea, right? Pretty simple to use once you're in Resolve or your editor of choice. All the controls are the same. Now let's take it another step further. So this is like, if you're going to do just regular 16:9, just the default export aspect ratio, using it on the timeline is fine. But if you're gonna do like a 17:9 or like almost an anamorphic style, or portrait, if you're going to export for social, you know, TikTok or Instagram or whatever, you have to use Fusion because of the way the frame is designed here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and open that project back up in GyroFlow. And I'm just going to come over to the output size and choose 9:16. I'll just set it as proportional. It doesn't really make any difference what the actual resolution is. It's the aspect ratio. And then I'm just going to save export project. I mean, I can just save project file. That works too, since I open the project file. And then I'll hit reload project, and it's going to be all manner of fucked up once that reloads. Is it going to reload? Really? Oh, well, one of the things I have to do is I have to change this to use vertical resolution. Now it's going to be fucked up. So you can see it's a little bit squished, and it might not be stabilizing correctly. So what we want to do, we're going to get rid of the plugin there. And just here's what the 8x7 looks like cropped. A little bit easier to work with. So with that highlighted, we'll go over to the Fusion tab. Yeah, exactly, Bart. Plus, you maintaining the original GoPro file, there's less chance of losing data, right? You know, we're all about the whole signal integrity thing. So being able to use the original file is, one, faster and easier on resources, and two, it's just better quality. So back in Fusion, remember last week, we're going to hit Shift Space, type GyroFlow with that first media end node highlighted. And it's going to freak out real quick, and then we're just going to hit that load for current file. Now, it looks okay, right? But Fusion doesn't care what your aspect ratio is. And if we go back to the edit page, it's going to be still a bit weird, I think. That actually looks how it's supposed to look. Did I not save the file correctly? Let's open it up. Oh, it's still there. Let's export it with gyro data. Just overwrite that shit. Okay. Yeah, I want to exit. Now we're gonna have reload project. That's weird. Well, it doesn't quite look the way it should. Well, I think one of the things we need to do in Fusion, there's a setting in the GyroFlow plugin. You go to the settings and then use plugin ROD for output size, and it should shift that a little bit. And go back to the edit page. You get a much wider field of view. That's what it was. So now you have, like I said, much wider field of view, and it's appropriately proportioned for this particular aspect ratio. And you can, you know, this does save a lot of time instead of like having to transcode for, you know, YouTube video and then TikTok and have all these different copies of the same video. You can just do this workflow. And there's probably even ways and scripting ways that are way beyond my skill set where you can just have it, you do everything all at the same time and go to multiple timelines and multiple exports and all this automation stuff that's beyond my expertise. That's pretty much it for the OFX plugin. It has gotten a lot better than it used to be. It's super stable now. It never crashes on me. It's one of the fastest things I've ever seen work in Fusion. Like being able to play this back in almost real time in Fusion inside of Resolve is definitely a bump. But usually when you have a Fusion effect on anything, it doesn't play all that great on the timeline. Now you're making me a fucking liar. You bastard. I added resources now. Alright, well, you get the idea. Yeah, I hear you. I actually did, after that one dude was in here, I downloaded and installed Fusion Standalone. I did not know the Resolve license covered Fusion Standalone, and Standalone is much faster. Very, very finicky, though. It's really easy to crash, and it only accepts certain file types. So I can't just take can't just take GoPro footage into Fusion Standalone. It only like accepts ProRes and DNxHR and like still sequences, and it doesn't have the same kind of file I/O that's built into Resolve. In fact, it utilizes a Resolve renderer. I don't know how they integrate well. I tried VFX Connect. I couldn't get it to work right. So, you know, I did do some cool stuff. Did 3D camera tracking, which was actually a lot faster and easier than it used to be. That was a big win for me. So, yeah. Fuck that then, he says. Fuck that then, indeed. I mean, the kind of stuff you're going to do in Fusion, it's going to be good enough inside of Resolve. Did I just cut? I have no idea what I did. Anyway, I want to show you guys something real quick here. Yeah, they're both going to work fine in GyroFlow, and the workflows are going to be exactly the same. So when you do your O3 air unit footage, just save the project with gyro data, open it up in Resolve, you know, and then work with it there, maintain that original data, especially since the O3 is kind of light on bitrate anyway. You want to maintain as much quality as you can. I want to show you guys something. I'm going to close this. It's probably not going to exit properly, is it? Another thing I've been noticing with the latest Resolve release and Fusion is they don't exit. So I have to come in here and kill the task. Sometimes it'll slowly drain out and finally exit, but other times it does not. So let's just some adventure releases. So here's a video. I'm going to play a video for you guys. Brand spanking new. It's gonna come out on the Colto Color channel on Saturday. Which, by the way, my release schedule is Wednesdays and Saturdays. Those are the only time that videos are gonna get posted, so I can kind of keep my workload low. give me enough time to build a consistent schedule as I'm re-uploading some of my older content to that channel. But moving forward, you know, it's just going to be 2 releases a week, Wednesday and Saturday. So to be very predictable. And then of course, Wednesday night we'll have the show. So I was dicking around yesterday with some Blackmagic footage from when I was flying around in Utah, and I figured out a way to make it look like you're flying around at night on an alien planet where the rocks are glowing and there's no visual effects in it. It's just color grading. But I was really, I thought it was really cool how it turned out, the feel. Let me know what you think. It is a really wild effect. This grade is not split, which it's very surprising. This is a super simple grade, like stupid simple. I will show you guys how it's done next week after this is released. You can do it with any footage. It doesn't have to be Blackmagic RAW. It can be any footage, and it's such a wild effect. But it's stupid simple to do, and I just kind of found it by accident. And I'm excited to share it with you guys. But yeah, surprisingly, the sky looks normal, just darker. I don't know why. I can't really explain why. I just kind of fucked with stuff, and then I stumbled on this look, and I was like, oh man, that's sweet. So I will go over this grade next week with you guys, and I will even give you a power grade so you can just slap it on whatever you want. Actually, it's not going to work because of how the requirement for this to work is it requires multiple layers. Yeah, not a split grade. So it kind of looks like the sky is being illuminated by a moon, and it's nighttime over glowing rocks. It's really wild. Next week we'll do another clip or a couple of clips, or maybe I'll take one of your clips and do this grade on it. So, Mr. Bartman dude, you want to give me a SharePoint link or whatever, and I'll download your footage and I'll show you how to do this grade on your footage. It really doesn't even matter what it is. You could be walking around with your phone camera. It's so simple, and it works with any kind of footage. Yeah, give me that link, bro. All right, kids. I was hoping to have the guy who was really curious about GyroFlow in here. Hopefully he'll do a rewatch and drop any questions he's got in the comments, and I can address them directly. Maybe do another follow-up video on this. Yeah, I can stop that. And all that fun stuff. So yes, thank you, Bart. Appreciate that. Those of you guys are stuck with me. We're coming at the bottom of the hour here, so I don't have a whole lot more for you. My voice is starting to go. I'm starting to become very uncomfortable. So we will talk to you guys next week on the other channel. So make sure you're subscribed to Cult of Color. We're still going to have content here on Nomad Aerial, but it's going to be shit posts. It's going to be color grading tests. It's going to be, you know, rips, hood rips and freestyle stuff. But my cinematic, my epic stuff is going to be all on the Cult of Color channel. And it's going to be very serious. Very serious. No swearing, no talking, and no having fun. No, it's not going to be that serious, but it's going to be clean and it's going to be consistent so the algorithm can stop hating me. So, thanks for hanging out with me and all that fun stuff. We will see you next week on the other channel. Be there or be square. Okay, love you. Bye.